Hey, Grace Point Church, it's good to see you again here on the Loop Plus. Welcome to episode 11. And as always, we hope you've had a chance to catch up all the 10 episodes prior to this episode. You're missing a lot of awesome content if you haven't. But hey, thanks for joining. We've got an exciting episode, some exciting things coming up, and maybe to learn a little bit more about each other as we just kind of spent some time, I got made fun of as usual for my grandfather name, but we can talk about that another time.
It's very
But
unique.
hey, happy to be joined by...
Taylor Wood.
Good job. So we're starting off with some confidence here. Taylor Wood
done.
serves as our...
I'm the worship pastor.
Good job.
It feels
All right.
weird to introduce myself. I don't know if they're 10 episodes in, or this is the 11th episode. I don't know.
it's always dangerous to have an assumption. Right?
You can also see our staff directory on gracepointchurch.net.
Well, I do
directory.
share
Use
this
the
with
word
my-
directory. That's pretty neat.
I do share this with my extended family members, so I appreciated you introducing yourself.
Oh, okay. Well, hello
Is that your
to
fan
all
club?
of Jared's
Yeah.
extended family.
That's why I have so many views.
Our views spiked for this episode from Jared's fan club,
Yeah.
better known as his family.
Mhm.
So,
Yes.
hey, who are you, by the way?
I'm Jared Stevens. I am the adult discipleship pastor here.
It's debatable. No, he is. So, hey, happy to have you guys. So something coming up pretty exciting this week. We got a special Thanksgiving. Yeah. So,
Yes.
are you
Always a
guys
good
in a
thing.
posture of Thanksgiving already?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
It's always time, the deviled egg time.
are you a deviled egg guy?
For sure, yeah.
I got a lot of man. Was that on the call yesterday with our pastor search team? Like, so yeah, deviled eggs are a highlight for me. Is that wrong?
100% no.
I mean, I'm not ashamed of it.
It's been a recent inclination of mine to
Inclination.
definitely enjoy the delicacy of.
It came with fatherhood.
I think so. Like I've like
As you get older.
diversified my Thanksgiving sides. So
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So ham or turkey?
Ham for sure. Well, it depends. Yeah, I mean, smoked turkey. If you know how to smoke it, and you do all the brining and all the proper steps, then it can be really good.
Do you
But-
inject it?
Sure. Yeah.
Cajun
I'm pro either.
Yeah, pro either. How about you?
I'm a both and type of guy,
Yeah.
and that's my life philosophy actually. So
I think turkey's kind of a bummer.
what?
I mean, it's
Yeah.
just.
Well, are you
It's
saying
okay.
turkey
Like-
breast or the like?
I mean, if
dark
you
meat
so
as
I
well?
like Cajun. So the best way to eat turkey, right, is deep fried with Cajun injection.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. That's a
So
good
it's
way.
kind of like non-traditional, but I eat it
That's good.
because it's available. But favorite side item.
Favorite? I got to pick
corn
one.
casserole.
I'd say green bean casserole.
Dang it. Green bean casserole.
Yeah.
So my least favorite would be green bean casserole. I don't know if I've had corn
I'm
casserole.
sorry, Eric.
It's
Hey,
like
it's
so. I actually started when I bring cornbread places. I just adjust the corn casserole recipe a little bit to be a little drier, but it's just a nice corn casserole. I don't know. It's got
That's a nice
cream of
corn
corn in there, cornmeal.
Does it have corn in it though?
It's got corn. It's got like
Okay.
3 different corn products.
So
Corn products.
Why do you not like green bean casserole?
Well, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of green beans,
Oh,
and so putting it in with like that can of whatever that junk is that you put
French
in
fried
with green
onions?
beans, yeah, it's not doing it for me. So,
Mm.
I'm
I like
I'm
that
very as a good like Christian brother, I'm so thankful you find enjoyment.
yeah.
And
More for me, more for us.
I hit the green
Hey,
bean
I will
casserole.
say, one time I showed up to a Thanksgiving meal and someone had a side of French fries. So
Hey. Okay.
that was interesting. Are you for French fries as a Thanksgiving side?
Hey, why not?
Why not? Is there
not?
really that much difference in fried potatoes and French
I
fries?
mean, yeah,
Like, it's just
tater tot,
I mean,
more
tater
fried
tot
potatoes
casserole.
put beside
We
it
have
as well.
hash brown casseroles, probably one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Hash brown casserole, and
Yeah,
or
that's good.
I'm not a huge broccoli fan, so this is where there's a little discrepancy in my logic. But I like broccoli casserole.
Yeah.
So
It's good.
yeah, it's a close
cover it
cousin
up.
to green bean casserole.
Sweet sauce,
Eh.
sweet creamy sauce on it. Yeah.
yeah. So anyway, happy Thanksgiving next week. So
Yes.
hope you guys have a great time with family. This Sunday we're actually focusing on a chapter out of Isaiah on gratitude. So looking forward to that. And then jumping into a series coming up, continuing kind of diving into Isaiah. So that's going to be great. So after Thanksgiving, we have another season coming up, right? I think.
Christmas.
Christmas. Yeah, it's kind of a big time. So
Big time of year for the Christians.
if you guys didn't know, Christmas follows Thanksgiving. Although you wouldn't know because the stores are already they moved well beyond
What
Thanksgiving
but
after
like
Halloween.
what products do you sell for Thanksgiving? If you think about it, like
Turkey.
you just there's only food to sell, right?
Hey, do you like cranberry sauce?
Why not?
Do you like the canned cranberry sauce? So this came up in my family this week with my son's debate of like, if you buy the canned cranberry sauce, how do you serve it? Do you slice it, or do you like make it look like a lump of stuff?
Like gelatin?
Yeah,
Like chop it up a little bit?
yeah.
Wow, yeah, I not ever thought about doing that. Actually.
All right. Well, so that one's open for interpretation, so we'll just give some freedom there. All right. So, hey, Christmas coming up. We want to talk about a lot of exciting things happening at Grace Point Church, both our focus of the season, some of the events. So, hey, yeah, somebody just get us started. Like, what are we looking forward to in the Christmas season? Maybe what's some things we're doing different this year, some things that would be good for our church to be aware of.
Yeah, we have a ton of stuff going on, so definitely be tapping into the Loop, which is an email that goes out every week.
And this is the Loop.
Plus. This is plus that. So all
Correct.
the stuff in the email, everything not in the email is plussed right here.
That's right.
So, but yeah, lots of stuff going on between men's and women's things separately, but also what? Oh, okay. Sorry. Someone was trying to interrupt our podcast. So they can't be in it. You can't be in it. Okay. Lots of stuff going on with men's and women's things, but also, we look forward to gathering together each Sunday. And this year we're going to be really hyper focused on what are Advent themes. And Advent's a little new for the church as a theme itself, but there's very traditional Advent themes in hope, peace, joy, and love. And obviously then, for Christmas Eve, celebrating Christ. So we're going to just stay really focused on those things and look forward to gathering together each week, really talking about how those are represented in the Bible. Going to be in Isaiah, which is great for those Sundays. And so it'll be a really meaningful time trying to focus on some things that will allow us to slow down and really make sure that we understand peace, really understand joy, really understand hope, and how those apply even into our church and individually.
Yeah.
So, some different exercises, if you will, while we're in the room together to just slow the pace down just a little bit.
Yeah, so maybe that idea of Advent or the word, maybe it's new, different concept. So maybe one of you guys kind of explain what is that? What is Advent?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I'm fairly new to the whole theme and season of Advent, probably a couple of years into it. It just wasn't a part of like my heritage growing up or traditions in our family. But recently I've kind of been accustomed to this whole theme and idea of Advent. And so Advent, the word literally means arrival. And I think it comes from like the Greek word parousia. So
sure.
like this,
say it with confidence.
this
there, Jared.
awaiting, this arrival, this expectancy of something to come, knowing that it will come, but it's like this paradox of patient celebration. So you're waiting on something, but you also are celebrating something that you know will come. And kind of like Taylor alluded to, that kind of inaugurates those four themes of hope, peace, joy, and love. And so, Advent is simply just the season of waiting and looking forward to Jesus's birth that we celebrate on Christmas Day, which we would call Jesus's first Advent. So it's actually interesting. Like right now, like 2024, we live in the in-between of the Advents, if that makes sense. So what I mean by that is like Jesus has already come one time, and that was his first Advent when he came to earth, born as a baby. And then we're awaiting his second Advent when he will return again. So we're in this like middle ground tension of like the in-between of the Advent seasons, if that makes sense. And so it's a special time of year because it's like really emphasizes looking forward to Jesus's arrival the first time that we celebrate Christmas Day, but then looking even further ahead to his second coming and the hope and joy and peace and love that come with that.
Yeah. So 4 themes. So how will those themes kind of play out in our season of Advent?
Yeah, I can touch on that a little bit in terms of like something that we've created as a church. So we've created these Advent guides, and the family ministries has an Advent guide, and the adults will have their own unique Advent guide, and it's all based around these 4 themes of hope, peace, joy, and love. And so what's really cool about the Advent guide is that it's just going to be like 12 devotionals where we have like 12 of our own writers at our church who've written a devotional on each topic. And it's all based around the themes. And then within each theme, they look at, let's take, for example, the theme of hope. So they wrote on what does hope look like when like in the Old Testament, when they were looking forward to Jesus's first advent. And then what does hope look like for us today as we look forward to Jesus's second advent? And they do that for each of the themes. So the adult Advent guide will just kind of be focused around those 4 themes. And like each day there will be like a time of like questions for consideration and like thoughts for prayer and journaling and stuff to engage in your own time with the Lord as you kind of dig through each themes and their biblical references and stuff. And then I think on the family side, they have like activities involved in their guides that you can participate as a whole entire family. So our church is going to come together really in a big way in this Advent theme. So
yeah, that's awesome. So those guides will be available this Sunday, November 24th. They'll be out. Both our kids will take their kids guide home, and then adults grab those in the worship center. So that'll be available this Sunday. It starts the very first week of December, right? Like
Yeah,
you'll
December
start
1st.
December 1st.
And
Okay.
those family guides are built to really be a Sunday night activity, which is going to be great. And shout out to Mackenzie for working on that and writing those, and Catherine for being really instrumental in designing everything. So some really cool people behind the scenes making them happen. But coming out of Sunday mornings, it's going to be really, really good because there's a tradition in Advent of lighting Advent candles, and we'll be lighting those candles on stage, not as an audience. Everyone gets to light candles on the 24th. But the fun to be had before then is just only going to be on stage. But we'll light a candle each week, and then, over 4 weeks, you light 4 candles. And so the family activity that night is also centered around that. So you can bring what we're doing in church on stage, and together you can bring that home and have a piece of that at home too as you worship as a family, which is, I think, really, really great. And the cards in the book look really good. And, it's cool.
I also found out we have some really talented writers at our church.
That was really cool.
Like I was genuinely, I won't say surprised, but just very grateful for just like, man, like when they were writing these and we were putting together the pieces of the guide, like I was like, oh man, like we have some like amazingly gifted writers at our church that's contributed to this.
awesome.
So I'm super excited for our whole church to enjoy this gift that's been created for us.
So Christmas tends to be a really busy season, right? Like as families and as individuals, just a lot going on. And so we just really want to be intentional, try to provide opportunities for us to really be reflective on this season and slow down as much as we can, at least be sure that we're capturing the meaning of the season, like not forgetting what Christmas season is about. And so that's the intentionality of the Advent guide, and even elements in our gathering a little bit different. I don't know if you want to share any like.
Yeah, 100%. We're going to be kind of building on our the way that we gather, right, each week. So week 1 being hope focused, and that's a central theme with Advent, the hope that Jesus brought to us, but also the hope that carries us into the end time, right? So the hope we have right now. And so first week being able to just focus on what is Advent together. We've got some, what we're calling liturgies, but just some written out things that we're going to be even saying as a church each week. So something around Advent. The next week with peace, we're going to be doing communion together. And so building on that, so we'll do our Advent reflection. Then the next week we'll do that and our communion reflection, where we take communion together. And we all are participatory because there's something to actually say and do back. And then that builds into even something I'm particularly excited about, because I think a lot of time when you talk about giving in the church, usually it's any organization really, but like usually it's, hey, you can give here. Please give, or here's what you're giving to. And what we're going to do the last 2 weeks, so the 15th and the 22nd, is have special times of really not. But you can give in time, but really we're going to stop and we're going to worship by remembering our giving. About 90% of our church around in there gives digitally, and so when I was growing up in church, we passed the plate that digital didn't exist yet, and so you had physical money that you had to put, and so it was a lot easier to appreciate the sacrifice of giving, right? Because you had to literally get your wallet out or whatever and give in the moment. And what you lose by giving digitally is that pause, right? And like the appreciation of the sacrifice of giving. And Andrew actually brought this up when we were talking about it a few weeks back, of just even those who give online, like, have we stopped and remembered, hey, that hits your account every month, or every week, or however often. We have the phrase consistent budget generosity, that I think is going to be reshaped as we move forward through this idea of sacrificial giving and worshiping through giving. Yeah. And so I'm excited about those two things, because I think it takes the focus off of please give, which that's something that we're always going to have as a church and as the world around us, but it's going to put the focus on giving as an act of worshiping. And so I'm excited about those 2 weeks. And so it's just going to continue to build as we get into our Christmas Eve service, where we'll be able to view the birth story of Jesus through recognizing and remembering he came and he's coming again. And I think it's going to be really meaningful as we observe those things each week. And I will say, like you mentioned, it's a busy time of the year for sure. And we all have families and we all have responsibilities and things. Something I hope that we're able to balance, right? And hope that we're able to accomplish is that, as we're going to have to visit and we're going to have to go, but let's look forward to a religious holiday. Like, this is our religious observation of Jesus and his birth, our coming Savior, Emmanuel. And so Sunday isn't just like, what are we going to do to celebrate Christmas? This is how we celebrate Christmas. This is how believers celebrate Christmas, is we come together and we remember Emmanuel. And so it's already special. Right, it's already a special time of the year, because this is our religious holiday, and that we do it together. And so look forward to the weekends. Look forward to Sundays. Look forward to those family worshiping moments at home, and then during the week, those individual worship moments. Like, it's already there. Like, Christmas season is laid out for us. Yeah. So that all that's left is observing.
Yeah, and so we just want to really provide tools to help that to be the case, right? That we're going through the season the way that we should, and being reflective on God's goodness and the gospel, and all of the goodness of the gospel of hope, peace, joy, and love, right? Yeah. So we want to do all we can to help all of us together go through the season in a meaningful posture. You mentioned giving, generosity, and one of the things that we just want to talk about a little bit is at Grace Point, we typically have an end of the year Christmas offering, and so we'll do that again this year. And just in the attitude of worship, right? Like, how do we extend the grace that God has shown us as a body to those outside of our church, right? And so there's a big focus on our Christmas offering this year of reaching out to our community through. The amazing thing is the Hope NWA events and kind of our monthly serves have been amazing. But it also starts multiplying the opportunities, because as we engage in our community, the opportunities kind of grow as we identify more and more needs. We've got a group of guys going to repair a single mom's home, I believe this weekend or next weekend. Right. That came out of the connection through one of our monthly serves. It actually came through a connection through our partnership with the schools, and our Hope NWAs. We have some budgeted money for that, but all of these other opportunities that God's given us, we really need to, if we want to step in and just do what God, if it seems like what God's leading us to do, this offering will help facilitate more of
Yeah,
ways that we
right.
can reach out. But also, even beyond Northwest Arkansas, we've got a huge group of our students heading out to Guatemala in March. It's really exciting. I mean, we got 27 on that team. Big team, that so much so that XNA struggled to get them out of Bentonville. So, it's a little bit of a challenge. So super excited about that and the
That's
ways
pretty
that
much a
they're
whole
going to be
plane
serving.
for XNA.
And we just chartered a whole little regional jet. So, but man, that's exciting to see our students being willing to go to. I mean, we think about Guatemala. It's not that far, but it is a place that's different, right? And there is a cost. And
All those students have full time paying jobs, right?
yes, they do not.
They can just easily pay for that
Yeah.
trip themselves.
Yeah, and so we have a heart for mission here at Grace Point, and it really is a part of this Christmas season. Like literally, the reason Jesus came was to provide us life, right, through the gospel, and so we want to extend that grace and that good news all around the world. And so it's amazing a way for us to both have impact, but help disciple our students to have a heart for God and the nation. So our offering is going to help provide a way for our students to go, provide the means for that. They're each raising their own funds, but we want to make it possible to where they can achieve that and go. There's lots of other opportunities, other things that our offering is going to be supporting, our ongoing discipleship ministries here in our church. God's doing so many good things, and we're so grateful, and we just want to, as a church, lean in and say, well, one I just forgot is our students. We got a lot of awesome stuff helping our students. We've got one weekend coming up. It's always a very meaningful time for our students, and students oftentimes, there's many that come to Christ that weekend and give their life to Christ or rededicate and kind of lean in with their walk with Jesus. And so that's a very important milestone in our students' lives. So our offering will help support that, and student camps in the summer. So a lot of really exciting things that are core to who we are as a church that our Christmas offering is going to help facilitate. So
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, did I forget anything?
That's historically, man. Like Hope and WA has never been something that has had a problem being funded here.
Right.
The people at Grace Point, like Grace Point Church, like loves serving the community.
Right.
Loves Global Adventures have never had a
Right.
problem. Right. Like so, I'm confident that everyone will see that, and that this is going to be an awesome season of giving.
Yep.
Because it really is what this church does.
Right.
Is fund real efforts like that. It's awesome.
Yeah. So we'll be sharing more details in the next few Sundays. The giving can start really as of this Sunday, but you'll be seeing a lot more details on that in the days ahead. Super excited about that. What am I forgetting? What else is coming up for the season? What else we need to talk about?
We got a few liturgy guides coming out.
Oh.
A liturgy guide.
Yeah. Do y'all know what? I feel like if someone were to ask you, hey, what is liturgy? What would you say?
Well, I think there's a few different ways to think of liturgy.
We kind of cheated too. Like we've been in this conversation.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
we've been
we've
talking about it.
briefly shared
So
it.
I think there's probably like historical perspective, and then maybe some contemporary perspectives. I kind of think it's both intentional. Like I think the way that we're using of readings is those are liturgies, but also the word could be our intentional work of worship. So how do we structure? So a lot of churches that say they're liturgical, they kind of have their gathering time structured in what is that moment meant to do? Is it repentance? Is it confession? Is it adoration? So a lot of times you'll see churches that are maybe considered liturgical.
Very
and they'll-
structured and orderly.
Yeah, you'll actually get a guide and say, hey, this is our time for repentance. This is our time for...
It's kind of like when you show up to a wedding and you get the guide of like the order of
prelude or
events.
but maybe with a little more intention in behind the segments. Like it's not just like this is our welcome time, but this is our time, call to worship. Like that's typically one of the first within a liturgical service is a call to worship, and it's just meant to say, hey, let's draw our hearts to this time. And so that's one way to think about liturgy.
Yeah.
Are you making a bulletin for us? Is this what it is?
Yeah, something like that.
Bulletin, order of service.
Hey, bring the bulletin
Kind of
back.
like old school, just bring it back full circle.
Yeah.
I mean, all the liturgy really is I think it's just like the way I define it is a work of the people. And I think in the context of the local church, it's like a collective order of worship. And so that can span the entire Sunday experience, right? Like we already have a liturgy that we do.
Right.
Whereas these liturgy guides that we're going to be kind of looking into and providing, they're a little bit more intentional. So what we've done is we've matched the 4 themes of Advent, hope, peace, love, and joy, with 4 specific liturgical elements. And those elements are with the theme of hope, we're going to do the liturgical guide of Advent. So basically it's just going to be kind of like Taylor talked about this earlier. We'll just kind of like share briefly as a congregation, hey, like this is what Advent is. We may have some like congregational readings that we do together collectively and stuff. And then with the theme of peace, we're going to have the liturgical element of communion. With the theme of joy, we're going to have the liturgical element of generosity. And then with the theme of love, we're going to have what we're calling the liturgy of living sent. And so basically what I like about like these liturgy guides and just liturgy in general is like we're all formed by what we do, and like we're also formed by what we don't do. But this is like a way for us to formatively participate in something that's not just as an audience. Like we're coming together as the body of saints to engage in things like as contributors, not just like consumers necessarily.
Right?
You're just participants. So it's like a really cool that like our whole church will get to partake in this. And so like I'm gonna try to hand out liturgy guides on each of these liturgical elements that correspond with the theme of Advent that we're focusing on that Sunday, and that we'll get to participate in together. And so yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be kind of new, a little fresh. But if you've had certain denominational backgrounds in that area, then you might already be familiar with it. But yeah.
We have a taste of it already, right? Like if we were to say we want to show and share Jesus, pretty much most of our congregation could say everyday people, everyday conversation with everyday people, right? We show and share Jesus with everyday conversations with everyday people. So like we have that phrase that we've said over and over and over again. It's much like that. That's a work. Like if we were to say it together, that's much the same. You know, it's something to help us focus on the moment, right? And that moment for us is see you later. You know, make sure you're living sent. But it's gonna be cool to see that kind of alive in some other areas.
Yeah, even when we say live sent, like. That's like a liturgical element in itself.
That's an intentional point in the order to accomplish a specific thing, right? Like so that's kind of thinking about liturgy. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, this season's a great opportunity for us to live sent. So great transition there. Great time to invite your friends, coworkers, neighbors, family that don't have a church home. We've also got this amazing outreach opportunity. You know, these holidays aren't always the most exciting for everybody,
right?
Especially those that maybe don't get the hope, love, and joy and peace from the season because they don't know Jesus, right? Like they don't experience it personally, or maybe there's just a lot of maybe hurtful memories or whatever with the holidays. And so we've got a special opportunity called Hope for the Holidays. That'll be a 3 texts go out each week, so we'll be pushing that out. You're probably going to see some social media posts, some ads actually, and we'd encourage you to share those ads because it really is meant to help invite maybe those that don't know the hope, love, and joy and peace of the season, invite them into this celebration, you know, right? And so it'll be a great opportunity for us to really reach out to our community and hopefully extend hope, love, and peace and joy. So we'll be watching for those ads. Also, you can subscribe. You'll see ways to do that in the coming days. But you'll get 3 texts out each week that just helps all of us, especially those that maybe it's a new experience or struggle through the holidays, a way for us to really walk through together in a meaningful way. So encourage you to subscribe. Definitely share that. Hopefully we can get some not yet believers into those conversations. So.
Yeah, and that'd be good. That's a good way to broaden our minds a little bit from our church and look at our community some. Something else too that I think is cool. It's coming up is there's going to be a prayer effort at the square.
Right.
I think that's on the what day is it on? It's on the 14th, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Guess what? It's going to be announced. So, and there's going to be some shirts coming out for that.
Yeah. So this Sunday, actually,
Yeah,
7th.
The 7th.
That's
It's the
close to the
7th.
14th.
Yeah, just-
Yeah, it's half of
it's
14.
double the
Yeah,
so
yeah,
on the 7th. But
a
we're
Friday.
gonna have the ability for you to order sweatshirts
Yeah.
that say "How can I pray for you?" It's just a great
Yeah.
conversation starter. There'll be information on that at the hub, I believe, this Sunday.
They'll be out there
So,
answering questions. A good way to bring hope.
Yeah.
As an individual to
Yeah,
somebody
there you go.
else. You know.
I think last thing, unless you guys have something else, just a continuation of our holiday drive that goes through December 14th. Man, you guys are killing it. Those boxes. I saw a lot of you carrying in supplies this week. So this holiday drive is a way for us to bless through our partnerships families that are in need in the season. And so, man, you guys have already stepped up. But that drive would go all the way through the 14th. The awesome part is it partners with our kids ministry as a Jingle Serve that evening. They'll be packaging those up in ways, gift baskets to give to these families. So still opportunities to get involved there. So a lot going on, a lot of ways for us to be reflective of the season, to participate, and then to actually express and hopefully extend the reason for the season beyond the four walls of our own church. So
Yeah, and ask your kids what they're supposed to be bringing too, because I
there you go.
think they've got a giving effort that goes along with that too. So we got
Okay.
the boxes on this side,
Okay.
and then the kids have their thing too. So
Gotcha.
Just I know my kids, they don't always convey all the information.
Hey, for those of us who've made it this far, I feel like we should show them a little sneak peek of one of the guides.
Do you
I
have
feel like,
it?
as just like hey, you made it this far with us. I think we have it. Let's see. Oh,
wow,
here it is.
what a
Look at that.
miracle.
Special effects.
So thank
Look
you
at
for
this.
hanging in this
The
long with
CGI.
us. Here's a sneak peek of one of our Advent guides that we'll be releasing this Sunday.
Yeah.
To pick up. So
Beautiful.
Now you have to delete the post if you've seen it, just so no one else sees it.
Awesome work, Catherine,
Yeah.
on designing, getting that laid out
Yeah,
for us.
she did an
So
amazing
great work.
job.
It's really cool because our people, like a lot of our people are a part of it. It's on the floor now, so that's why I'm pointing. Those that are just in the podcast have no idea that I'm pointing, but and those that listen didn't get to see it. So
They're listening.
Oh, that's true.
Eric
just
is
picture
now
a really
looking at Jared.
awesome guide. That's what it is. It's really awesome.
Beautiful.
So
Yeah.
I think that's it. So this Sunday, pick up your guides. Kids will have a guide. That all starts December 1st. Listen, a lot of awesome stuff happening, and we really do want to keep you guys in the loop. So if you don't get the email, subscribe to the loop. Lots of good information in there, but you also have to open it.
It's true.
So subscribing is step one.
AI will read it to you eventually, but not yet.
Right now you're
Right now you have to open it.
your own intelligence.
Yes.
So subscribe is step one, open step two, and then read step three. Right? Like I've had some people confess that they see it but they don't read it. So we do want to try to keep everyone in the loop of what's happening.
Confessions
so.
are good though. That's
Yeah.
that's a positive thing.
Confession then like
Progress.
change your
Yeah,
confession should lead to change of behavior, right? So
Yeah.
read the email. Loop Plus is great. Announcements. Always we have staff, pastors at the hub if you have questions. Man, don't miss out on what God's going to be doing in the life of our church
Yeah.
this season. So final words?
Live sent.
Well, look at
Yeah.
that. Look at
There you
All
go.
right. All right. Well, there
Share
you go.
Jesus too.
Shared.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's all right. All right, Grace Point. Thank you so much. Once again, subscribe if you haven't done so. Catch up on previous episodes, but we'll see you next time.